All right, this video is for our year 1 and year 2 teaching teams. So if you're a main teacher or an assistant or a sub who's working on year 1 or year 2, please stay tuned for this video. Everyone else can skip. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so I can go back to that calendar that we were looking at before. So this is the main page of the calendar. And if you're on either a phone or on a desktop, you will see there's these little tabs at the bottom. I'm highlighting those with my mouse right now, so they'll kind of, and I'm clicking through them. Now, when I send out emails, there's a hyperlink that will bring people directly to these pages, so they can go directly. But if you ever wanted to navigate around the calendar, that's how you can do it. Now, you can see, of course, our generalized calendar here, where there's important information for you to be aware of, mostly the retreat dates and the confirmation masses for my year 2 volunteers. Those are more particular to you all in year 1 and year 2 programs. But let's dig into the explicit program calendars. So generally, without speaking to dates, we're going to have a parent orientation. And then for year 1, we're going to have a Bible blessing. And then you're going to see, we'll move through the calendar doing the 8 reconciliation lessons and the 10 salvation history lessons assigned by date, skipping nights that we don't have classes, like the first Wednesday nights or Ash Wednesday, that kind of thing. And then toward the end of the year, we will have kind of a reconciliation review quiz and maybe student interviews with the teachers and the kids, maybe. But you can access your calendar here. Now, if you're teaching year 1, when you look at your calendar, the date that you see on the left with the lesson that you see on the right, that is when you will be teaching that lesson. So there's no flexibility for teaching a lesson on, a different date. The reason I'll go into in the other videos as well, it's because we take attendance, and if a kid's absent, then I presume that they missed that particular lesson, and their parents are given instructions on how to make up that missed lesson at home. You don't need to worry about that at all. I take care of it, but that's why we have to teach that lesson on the date. It also allows us to get through 2 units per year. It's a lot of work. So this is our year 1 calendar. The other thing I wanted to point out for year 2, it's a similar situation where you will see a date on the left and a lesson on the right. And on that date, you will be teaching that explicit lesson. For our year 2 program, you will see we are getting through both the confirmation unit and the Eucharist unit by the early spring, because we leave time to do student family interviews at the end of the year before the children are confirmed and receive First Communion. So that's an important thing to note about the calendar. And I think that I cover a lot of this in the videos that you'll be looking at here in a few minutes. But you can access these, of course, in the overall calendar. You can do it, navigating from the emails that I send. And you can certainly print these. I think I will have them printed, but always know anytime a calendar is printed, it can change. So right now, looking at this particular year, you're going to see for our morning retreats, if you were to print this calendar right now, you'd have a bunch of TBD, to be determined, for confirmation masses and for my morning retreats. That's because some of those dates are not finalized until we actually start classes. If you're savvy, you'll notice there's some color-coded dates on the side here. So I'm not explicitly calling out dates here, but these will give you an idea of the dates that I'm looking at for instance, confirmation masses and First Communion masses, or for those morning retreats. But don't assume that that's final until you see a final date. So you can always print this, you can get to it online and such. The other thing I wanted to note, starting this year and in future years, we have started doing a Corpus Christi procession. And I'm going to add that to the calendar as something that year twos are essentially required to come to. It's after they're sacramentalized, so what can I do if they don't? But the kids lead, like the children that received First Communion, it's traditional that they lead the Corpus Christi procession. It's beautiful, and it gives them a chance to dress up in their beautiful like white dresses or handsome suits, and they hold flowers, and they essentially escort Jesus in the Eucharist on the procession. So that's another date as well that is color coded here. Our Corpus Christi is very, very late in this particular coming year, but you'll see that's going to change based on Easter and future years. So I hope this gives you an idea of what to expect for calendaring for year one and year two. And again, continue on with the future videos and you'll get additional information and insight. All right, thank you guys.